अपने भाग्यनगर का भाग्य है। इस बार जो है लोक मंथन का अखिल भारतीय कार्यक्रम हैदराबाद नगर में होने वाला है। इस बारे में अपने साथ है नंद कुमार जी, जो नंद कुमार जी अखिल कन्वीनर हैं। उनके साथ हम बात करेंगे इस प्रोग्राम की क्या खासियत है, क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है और हैदराबाद क्यों चुना गया। इस सारे चीज़ जो है अपन बात करेंगे। सर नमस्कार।
नमस्कार नमस्कार।
हैदराबाद में इस बार होने वाला ये लोक मंथन का क्या विशेषता है, क्या स्पेशलिटी है?
लोकमंथन का जो खासियत, इसका जो स्पेशलिटी उसके नाम पे भी है। लोक का मंथन है। लोक मतलब जानपद है। लोक मतलब भारत का जो ओरिजिनल कल्चर को, संस्कृति को, प्योर कल्चर इफ यू कैन से इन दैट वे, दैट इज लोक। सामान्यतः लोक कहने के समय अंग्रेजी में इसका ट्रांसलेशन फोक ऐसा कहते हैं। Actually, there are so many words in Bharatiya languages which cannot be translated, just like dharma, rashtra. We are translating erroneously as religion or nation. It is not proper translation. In the very same way, lok is being translated or janpad is being translated as folk. Folk is a derogatory term as far as the Western etymology is concerned. They are considering folk as primitive. They are considering folk as black. They are considering folk as barbarous. Only cultured people, civilized people are residing in the town as per the Western concept. That is why, the original people of a land is being called as citizens. Means those who are living in the city. But actually, as far as Bharatiya concept is concerned, it is not like that. In our land, in our culture, in our tradition and our rich history, always says great of these type of people who are living in forest, in villages, in mountains, as well as in the rural and urban areas. They are equally responsible for the development and even the creation of this great nation. ये राष्ट्र का निर्माण भी उन लोगों के आपस में हुए सफल, सक्षम, स्वास्थ्यजनक संवाद से हुआ था। राष्ट्र निर्माण एक महत्वपूर्ण संवाद से हुआ था। That relationship between all groups of this nation was very much there. But unfortunately, in between the colonizers came, and on the basis of their concept regarding people, they cannot see the whole people in all colors, in all languages as a single unit.
Yes.
They will only consider white as the great
Yes,
people and black as the dumb bird or something like that. As far as Bharat, it is not like that. Always there was a samvada. There was samvada in between Ram and Guha, Ram and Kevad Raja, Sri Ram and Shabari Mata, Sri Krishna and Kuchela. There was always that samvada was there, but because of this foreign influence and foreign अटैक ओवर अस, इंटेलेक्चुअल अटैक, इसके वजह से ये दो कर दिया एंड ये ब्रोकन दैट रिलेशनशिप इज टू बी रीएस्टैब्लिश्ड, स्ट्रेंथेंड। एक प्रकार से बगाए तो ये पुल फिर से बनाना चाहिए, ब्रिज इज टू बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड थ्रू ए प्रॉपर संवाद परंपरा। सो दिस इज ए कोलोकियम ऑफ नेशन फर्स्ट थिंकर्स एंड प्रैक्टिशनर्स। एक प्रकार से राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि विचारक और कर्मशीलों का एक मंच है लोक मंथन। इट इज अ चर्निंग। मंथन मीन्स चर्निंग, एन इंटेलेक्चुअल चर्निंग, मथनम लोक का होने वाला है। इट वॉज स्टार्टेड इन 2016. इट इज अ बाई एनुअल इवेंट और अ बिनाले। इट वॉज in 2016 it was in Bhopal, in 2018 it was in Ranchi, and in 2020, of course, because of the pandemic, it was not possible for us to organize that function in 2020. It was postponed to 2022. That was the third edition of LokManthan. It was in Guwahati. Then at that time, the central team of LokManthan has decided to organize this year's and fourth edition in some of the states and headquarters in south of Bharat. So Bhagyanagar इट हैज गॉट अ रिच ट्रेडिशन, ए कल्चरल हेरिटेज, भाग्य लक्ष्मी का जगह है। लेकिन ये गलत नैरेटिव्स खड़ा करने वाले लोग इस भाग्य लक्ष्मी का परंपरा, भद्रकाली का परंपरा, काकातिया अपना जो राजवंश का जो परंपरा, इस सभी को एक प्रकार से नष्ट करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे। ये लोकमंथन भी एक सही आख्यान भारत के हिस्ट्री के बारे में, अपने परंपरा के बारे में साबित करने के लिए कर रहे। इसलिए हमने सोचा तो सबसे अच्छे अप्रोप्रिएट प्लेस भाग्यनगर है। What I have told you that Lok is beyond folk, in the very same way Bhagyanagar is beyond Hyderabad.
या वेरी नाइस। सो इस मद्देनजर ये हैदराबाद में जो पहली बार ये हो रहा है, ये इसकी इट हैज़ ए लॉट ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस इन मेनी वेज। कई तरह इसकी जो है मान्यता है, बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। एक है पहली बार साउथ इंडिया चुना गया है, दूसरी बार एक नेशनलिस्ट फोर्सेस ग्रेजुअली कमिंग टू द फोर, लाइक 10 years ago इट वाज अ डिफरेंट सिनेरियो। आज 10 साल के बाद जो है आज कुछ अलग है। सो इवन नाउ द प्रॉब्लम्स आर मेनी। सो इन प्रेजेंट लोक मंथन में क्या क्या विचार होंगे, क्या किस तरह के सब्जेक्ट्स पे सोच होगी?
मैंने बताया था ये चर्निंग, इंटेलेक्चुअल चर्निंग, एक वैचारिक मथन है। उसमें हमारा जो मुख्य उद्देश्य है प्रॉपर नैरेटिव, नेशनलिस्ट नैरेटिव को स्थापित करने के लिए है। उसमें सबसे बड़ा एक गलत परसेप्शन इन लोगों ने बनाया था, राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतों ने, जिसके जिक्र आपने किया था। ऐसे लोगों ने पहले ही बताया था मैंने, एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल्स आर बीइंग टेकन अवे फ्रॉम द मेन सो कॉल्ड मेन स्ट्रीम। दे आर सेइंग वनवासीज आर नॉट भारतीयस, Gramavasis are not Bharatiyas, SC, caste, scheduled tribe, all, and even women are not being considered as equal in Bharat. These type of galat narratives, wrong narratives, I would like to say, ये साबित करके रखा है। इसके वजह से देश के अंदर, समाज के अंदर एक बड़ा विखंडन होने की संभावना, एक ब्रेकिंग ऑफ द सोसाइटी, इसके लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं हमेशा। आजकल जो हम कास्ट सेंसस के जो बात सुन रहे, आजकल हम बाल्कनाइज्ड सोसाइटी के बारे में सुन रहे, एंड इस सभी के लिए एक अल्टरनेटिव पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में बता रहे हैं, गलत यूज करते हुए। भारत इज अ डेमोक्रेसी, द ब्यूटी ऑफ द डेमोक्रेसी इज मल्टी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी सिस्टम, इट इज नीडेड, बट दैट डजंट मीन, ये इसका अर्थ ऐसा नहीं है किसी भी कारण से राष्ट्र को तोड़ने के लिए एक अल्टरनेटिव पॉलिटिक्स आगे रखना वो सही नहीं है। आजकल खासतौर पर दक्षिण में, भारत के दक्षिण में ये ज्यादा सक्रिय है इस प्रकार का लोग भारत को तोड़ने के लिए। दे हैव रेज्ड द, इवन दे हैव शोन द ऑडासिटी टू रेज दैट एक स्लोगन, कटिंग South of Bharat is to be cut away from north. From where they are going to cut? Whom they are going to cutting it? इसको ठीक तरह से समाज के सामने रखने के लिए ये लोकमंथन एक मंच होगा, एक वेदी होगा, मतलब एक स्टेज होगा। दूसरा, हम इस बार तय किए हुए विषय इस दृष्टि पर लोक को पूरी तरह अवलोकन करते हैं, इसलिए मेन थीम इस लोक अवलोकन। लोक अवलोकन में 3 सब पॉइंट्स आते। लोक विचार क्या है, सही में भारत के प्राचीन संस्कृति का विचार क्या था, उसके आधार पर क्या क्या व्यवस्थाएं उन्होंने खड़ा कर दी, इसलिए सेकंड सब पॉइंट इज लोक व्यवस्था। उस विचार के आधार पर किए हुए व्यवस्था के आधार पर डेवलप हुए भारत के समाज, प्राचीन समाज ने किस प्रकार का व्यवहार किया है समाज के अंदर, लोक व्यवहार। सो लोक अवलोकन इज द मेन सब्जेक्ट। विचार, व्यवस्था, व्यवहार, इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन होंगे। भारत के भिन्न भिन्न क्षेत्रों से लगभग 50-60 ऐसे विचारक आएंगे, आपस में चर्चा करेंगे, और उसके साथ साथ 2000 के आसपास, मोर देन 2000, ऑलरेडी मोर देन 3000 पीपल हैव रजिस्टर्ड फॉर दिस डिस्कशन। उसमें लीड करने के लिए मैंने जो बताया 60 शीर्षस्थ विचारक, हमारे आदरणीय राष्ट्रपति जी से लेकर सभी लोग आ रहे हैं। उसके साथ साथ लगभग 1500 आर्टिस्ट आर कमिंग to perform their art forms. Exhibitions will be there. It's in the real sense of the word, it's a cultural extravaganza to going to happen in this beautiful cultural city of Bhagyanagar from 21st to 24th.
या कैन यू मोर एलाबोरेट इस चीज में, जो क्योंकि जो है हमें पहले जो है इस मंथन के बारे में 4 दिनों में क्या क्या प्रोग्राम होंगे वो थोड़ा बता दीजिए। आखिरी बार जो है अपन जो है 4 days हाउ इट इज split up, like what are the main programs that will take place? If you can tell us, like we'll go into the subject once again.
And see, I have already said it will be the exhibition part will be inaugurated on 21st morning by Honorable former Vice President of Bharat, भाग्यनगर का जो सतपुत्र ऐसा कह सकते हैं, ऐसा आदरणीय वेंकैया नायडू जी इनॉग्रेट करेंगे. So the in the exhibition through the exhibition hall and the cultural program stages, there will be artist walk will be there in the daytime, and in the evening the whole cultural program will be inaugurated. Our president of reception committee, आदरणीय cabinet minister Kishan Reddy garu, our cultural minister, cabinet cultural minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat will participate in that cultural program inauguration. And one of the program, very significant program, the first program I would like to say as the cultural program will be Kala Sangharshini Pravesha in a Kuchipudi style. One of the famous Kuchipudi dancer from Kerala, Kumari Rachana Narayangutti, will perform that particular art form. It is more an art or dance. It will be a spiritual sadhana type program. You may be knowing that the concept of this whole universe, the creation, the existence and the delusion, all these things are being based on Kali's 12 rupas, Dwadasha Kali. There is a concept in the Kashmiri Shaivism. Rachana being a true follower of Kashmiri Shaivism, she is going to perform that 12 कालियों का प्रदर्शन करने वाला है. It is in general that Kali is being divided into 3. First of all, Srishti Kali, Sthiti Kali and Samhara Kali, and Srishti Kali is being divided into 4 subgroups. In this way 12 Kalis are there. There is a philosophical concept. So nowadays many world renowned scientists are very much agreeing with this concept of 12 Kalis. There is not much time to explain about that. So मैंने चाहता हूँ वो पहला कार्यक्रम का महत्व आपके सामने सम्मुख रखने के लिए. Then there will be a cultural performance from a Yazidi group. You may be knowing Yazidis are the pre-Abrahamic people who are still living their culture, very much related to us. For example, Yazidis are considering the feather of peacock as a sacred thing, just like our Kartikeya, Subramanya, Muruga tradition. They are still continuing. Maybe because of that, those who are living in small number in Iraq, Syria are being cruelly persecuted by this ISIS Islamic fundamentalist. Many of the girls, see, these Yazidi girls are considered to be the most beautiful girls in the whole world. They are being taken to the ISIS camps as sex slaves and all. It was very much in the picture. Now in Armenia, Syria and Iraq, some groups are still living and some representatives from them are kindly consented to participate in this. Their performance will be there, and Jugalbandi will be there on the first day itself. So very much rich with cultural programs having philosophical content, national content, and also the peace of the whole world is almost, the universe is also being, we have tried our level best to inculcate in it, and a message will go to the whole world through that cultural programs itself. And next day, 22nd is the inaugural day, and usually before starting the functions, there will be Havan, but done by the Romanian people, that also pre-Abrahamic religions people. They are going to perform the Havan. It is still they are following that part. They are also participating, and at sharp 10 o'clock, the inaugural function will start. At 10:30, Honorable Rashtrapati will reach, and Sarsangachalak of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Dr. Mohan Bhagavat, is also participating in that. Adreniya Governor of Telangana, he will participate. Mukhyamantri has also consented, give consent to. He will also be there. Kishan Reddy ji, President, he will be there. That is the inaugural function. Then after that function, by 11:45, the first session, technical session, will start. There are lot of topics we have selected. Vyavhar, Vichar, Vyavhar, Vyavastha of Lok. In that line, what is the Lok Nyaya? What was the ancient Nyaya Vyavastha of us? What was the methods which have been adopted by our people, ancient people, still continuing in forest areas and Vanavasi areas, still continuing that. See, Loka Suraksha, what was it? What was their method of preserving the environment? The so-called मटेरियल नॉलेज पाने हुए हम लोग तो शहर में रहने वाले लोग we are considering when we are doing something for environment, we are doing a great service, but the people that the original log are not considering that the environment is something away from outside their body. They are considering it as their part. So just like breathing, just like taking food, that much natural is their relationship with the nature or environment. So what was it? Loka Paryavaran ki vyavastha. And the whole system of the Lok, which was Sarva Samaveshita, it was always taking all together. And that is the beauty of the original culture of Bharat. So we are saying it as Janapada culture or the Lok culture. It is there. They always considering even art form or spiritual customary practices as a comprehensive one, which includes everything. It is not only an affair in between one person and God. That's not. It is a total affair. When I am praying, it is for not only for my parivar or kutumba or family. ये तो पूरे समाज के लिए है, पूरे सृष्टि के लिए है. That's why it is, you can see it. So these type of subjects will be thoroughly discussed in the whole 22, 23 and 24. On 24th afternoon, there will be the valedictory function in which Pujaniya Sarsanga Chalak Dr. Mohan Bhagavat ji will give the valedictory message to the delegates. Maithili Nandan Swamiji, Ayodhya se, Puja Swamiji is also coming. He will give the Ashirvachan, and our finance minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitaramanji, will also participate in the valedictory function.
As you said very nicely, like we have been respecting even the people of great culture and traditions of others, inviting them. उनको हम बुला रहे हैं इस मंथन में भी जो है बहुत ही ठीक है. दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ अवर कल्चर. सो इस बार जो है आपने जो है साउथ इंडिया के बारे में कहा गया है. एक है अभी तक जो 3 हुए हैं लोक मंथन, इसका जो है हाउ दिस मैसेज इज रीचिंग टू द मासेस, हाउ इट इज गोइंग डाउन टू द लेवल, एंड प्रेजेंट लेवल में जो होने वाला है, बिकॉज दिस इज ए बिग प्रॉब्लम. पॉपुलिस्ट जो पॉपुलिस्ट टेंडेंसीज है एंड वोट बैंक टेंडेंसीज है, इसमें जो है माइन्यूट विचारधारा का जो है आम जनता के पास पहुंचना बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है. बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत मुझे माना जाता है कि जो है ये बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है, क्योंकि जो है आज से बखलाओ काइंड ऑफ एटमॉस्फेयर में, जैसे मैंने कहा पॉपुलिस्ट काइंड ऑफ वोट बैंक काइंड ऑफ कल्चर में हमें रीच करने में, हमारे मासेस के बारे में डाउन रीच करने में, इस विचार जो मंथन के बाद जो अपन coming out with some certain solutions, how do we reach to the ground level?
First and foremost thing, LokManthan is not a one-day wonder, just an event. It's a continuous process. Of course, you said it very correctly that nowadays it is a populist slogans are to be taken. freebies are to be announced. Then only the issues will be taken by the public. That is the general situation. That's a pathetic condition. You cannot say that it is a model thing. It is not an आदर्श व्यवस्था ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. So naturally, if we want to take a subtle message, a real message, a healthy message for the society, you have to work for it in the present condition. That's why when we are planning a LokManthan to be conducted in Bhagyanagar in November 21 to 24, we have started the work one and a half years back. For the last one and a half years, near about 100 pre-LokManthan programs were done in each and every main cities, main areas in Bharat. See, recently we have conducted a program in Bhopal in collaboration with Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya. The Karikram was specifically pointing on healers' practices of Bharat. The चिकित्सक प्राचीन चिकित्सक है वनांचल में बाकी जगह पर ऐसे हीलर्स का एक कॉन्फ्रेंस किया. वट आर देयर प्रैक्टिसेस एंड ऑल थिंग्स, यू नो, ये द हेल्थ इश्यू विच वी आर नाउ seeing or we are now addressing, it is a creation of the western allopathic method. When they came, वो लोग जब आए थे, उनके सिस्टम लेकर आया. इसका ज्यादा प्रचार मिलने के लिए उन्होंने पहले आयुर्वेद को खत्म, पहले जो लोकल प्रैक्टिसेस को खत्म किया, देन थोड़ा बड़ा प्रैक्टिसेस भारत के आयुर्वेद परंपरा को खत्म किया. आयुर्वेदा वाज such a medical practice, health practice in Bharat, wherein which operation was also there, surgery was also there, but they announced that allopathy doctor can only conduct surgery, one, and the whole money spent for research and development and also the purity of our जड़ी बूटी उस प्रकार से रखने के लिए कितना पैसा खर्चा करना चाहिए था, it has been stopped. So in a way the Ayurveda has been chalked. Still we have got only methods of creating kashaya or creating arishta, creating lehya or in the former ways only. पहले वाला जो अभी भी चल रहा है, nothing more development through researches is not happening only because of the intervention of them. And before that I have already said there were so many practices. when आपको माने दादी माँ के चिकित्सा है घर में, एक देख लीजिए 50-60 साल पहले छोटे सा ये कोल्ड आने पर क्यों आप लोग कहाँ जा रहे थे, कहीं कोई हॉस्पिटल में जाने की आवश्यकता नहीं थी. घर पे भी कुछ काली मिर्च या कुछ जिंजर इस प्रकार का चीज से माता या दादी माँ बनाकर देते थे. इन द सेम वे देयर आर सम लोकल विलेज चिकित्सक्स, दे न्यू हाउ टू डू इट. ओनली थिंग इज दैट व्हेन वी आर गिविंग ए medicine is for the rogi, not actually for the roga, not for the disease, because disease may have similar symptoms, but the person who is affected has got another background. Each person must be treated as a separate person. That was our method. But allopathy इसमें आपको हेडेक आ गया है तो भी क्या है, एक एनासिन देंगे, सभी को वही देंगे, छोटे बच्चों को भी देंगे, बूढ़े व्यक्तियों को भी देंगे. And how it is affecting your body, it's a great question. No, in this way discussions were there, low practices of healthy practices were being discussed there. There we have a policy intervention in our health administration के लिए एक 18 बिंदु वाले एक पॉलिसी स्टेटमेंट भी दिया गवर्नमेंट के. इस प्रकार रायपुर में मैं एक आधा दो उदाहरण बता, रायपुर में हमने एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर एक ग्रीन समिट किया नेचर का. उसमें से भी भारतीय परंपरा क्या थी इसको प्रिजर्व करने के लिए, इसके साथ साथ कुछ अपने लोक कलाओं के वर्कशॉप अलग अलग प्रकार से. आई हैव पार्टिसिपेटेड इन ए वर्कशॉप ऑफ मांडना आर्ट ऑफ राजस्थान, पिछवाई आर्ट of some areas of there. So these type of artists, art forms, workshops, through this true message which we want to communicate with the public, the society has been already been started going into the ground level or the lower level. That is going on. In the same way, in this LokManthan also, we will come out with a Amrita. Amrit means after churning,
Yes.
Amrit must come out. What is Amrita? The total decisions regarding all these main areas, main focus areas which we are attending, we are facing, and the decisions arrived at through the thorough discussions by the delegates and the intellectuals who are going to participate. We will prepare. How many points will be there? I can't just say now, but we will prepare a policy statement. You may call it in the modern language. We are calling it as Amrita, and it will be presented before the concerned ministries and the government. That will also be done. And after this, just like pre-LokManthan even was we were conducting for the last 1.5 years, we are going to conduct so many post-LokManthan events after this. So it will take time. See,
Yeah.
in such a condition, such a complex condition, no result we cannot arrive at on a fine morning. It will take time.
या, या। इस बारे में एक छोटी सी एक एजुकेशन सिस्टम की एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट, सिंस आई एम फ्रॉम सिक्स, I know the importance of how education reaches to the masses, mass level. I have a bias towards my institution. So इस बारे में जो है जिस तरह ने certain foreign elements in a big conspiracy, in a very strategic manner, they have damaged our vyavastha, Ayurveda, education, or whatever we call the traditional practices, rich traditional practices. They have damaged, irreparable damage they have done. So is a once again to come out with a, as we are coming out with several rediscovering, we are not doing it, rediscovering our own value systems. So education plays a very big role. How do like a certain golden nectar coming out from this LokManthan, how do it reaches to the masses? Since now more urbanization is also taking place. So going to the masses is also very big important thing.
See, for that purpose only we are going to conduct post-LokManthan events through which the main conclusions we have arrived at regarding so many issues which you have mentioned about the education system. For example, you have mentioned about the health education, Ayurveda, and everything were being suppressed and also derogated. And before the public itself, they have started saying this is Andhavishwasa and everything. And main एक मुख्य एक focus area is history. See, you can only become a true nationalist or a patriot through thorough knowledge about our history. सबसे ज्यादा अटैक अभी भी चल रहा है अपनी हिस्ट्री के ऊपर है, भारत के इतिहास के ऊपर. ए सिंपल एग्जांपल है, say when colonizers brought their own officers to rule Bharat, the young ICS officers from England were not able to rule here with a proper mindset. Why? When they want to interact with the officers, their subordinate officers who are Bharatiyas, here they found that these Bharatiya officers, though they may be subordinates, but culturally, intellectually, educationally, behavior matter per, they are far above them, and they have got such a confidence about this nation. So these young ICS officers came from outside Bharat, they were facing an inferiority complex in them. In order to eradicate that inferiority complex, the British people, British intellectuals started writing Bharat history. Bharat history written by English officers like James Mill and all, only to raise their confidence level or erase their inferiority complex or insist and infuse एक प्रकार का inferiority complex in us. For that, they found out that history is the main area. They started dividing Bharat's history into three: primitive history or ancient history, medieval history, modern history. See, as far as Bharat is concerned, those who are seeing history as a cyclic thing, Kala as a cyclic thing, Chakriya thing, not as a linear thing. Time is not a linear subject here. So, such an area, someone is saying that this year to this year is the ancient era, and this year to this year particular era is the medieval era, and now it is the modern era. Who gave you the power to divide Bharat's history in this way? And they started saying the ancient era is a dark era. As far as Bharat, the ancient era, that was predominantly inhabited by Hindu culture and Hindus. And they started saying that it was a dark era. Why? They were Hindus, or the ancient Bharatiyas were worshipping scorpions, worshipping crocodiles, worshipping snakes, worshipping trees, worshipping mountains, rivers, and everything. Hundreds of devatas are here. That itself is a barbarous thing, they started saying. And these people were headhunters. They are cutting the heads of others. So that was a dark age. And after the dark age, then came the medieval era. Medieval era means what? Mughal invasion or Muslim invasion. Started coming a rays of hope in Bharat, and they named it as an era of transition. भारत सा डार्क एज का परिवर्तन मुगल और मुस्लिम आकर भारत में किया है. That's why we are still worshipping Taj Mahal as a great wonder. भारत के अंदर इवन तेलंगाना में आपको लाखों टेम्पल्स देख सकते हैं with all that sculptural marvel. Far above that, but still we are worshipping that, and we were taught that Kavita, Shilpakala, everything was a dein or a contribution of these invaders. And that is why you say, even a physics or an engineering student of Bharat will say correctly, the old Mughal emperors, Babur too, are the same. But none of them can say even a single name of a Kakatiya Raja. None of them can say that the Chola dynasty, which extended their rule for at least 2000 years, the longest ruling dynasty in the whole world, that was Chola dynasty of South. Do you know about it? Who was the first one? How many names of the Chola Rajas you know? Do you know about Lachit Badfukan of Assam? What all you were taught about Shivaji and Maratha Rajya? Nothing. But you know. So my point is, history is also being distorted. And then comes the whole change. Renaissance period. What is it? British period. इस प्रकार इस हिस्ट्री को चेंज करना, हमारे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में चेंज लाने के लिए कोशिश नवीन राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 में शुरू हो रहा है. इसको और इनपुट्स देने के लिए इस प्रकार का कार्यक्रम काम में आ जाएगा. ये सब करने की आवश्यकता. मैं जस्ट मेंशन अबाउट ए पर्टिकुलर एरिया अबाउट हिस्ट्री.
इसमें एक आखिरी दो प्रश्न हैं, मुझे लगता है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक है, आप जैसे बता रहे हैं कि फोक कल्चर एंड रिच फोक ट्रेडिशंस, इट इज ए वेरी एनरिचिंग कल्चर है अपना. सो इसमें जो है,
एक्सक्यूज मी टू इंटरव्यू, इट इज नॉट फोक कल्चर, इट इज लोक कल्चर.
या आवर लोक कल्चर इज बेसिकली फ्रॉम our rural areas, it is spread out, but this urban rural divide is greatly it has become a big problem for this gap.
That itself is a misconception. Low culture is not confined to the forest or village or everything. Actual lok is still living in the cities also. But the only problem is that we were all taken over by the colonization. Still our minds are colonized. That is why. That colonized people are still living in the village areas also. There is. So Vasudeva Sharan Agarwal, the great thinker, intellectual and a literary figure, he defined lok, as they are saying, he himself was saying, lok is not defined, is not confined to a particular geographical area or a particular caste. It is that's why I have already said, it is a original Bharatiya culture, Bharatiya lifestyle, Bharatiya environmental lifestyle and everything. Where you are living and which amenities you are using is not at all related to your culture. Your culture is internal. That is which we want to revive. We have to revisit to that, rediscover it and revive that culture. These 3 R's are the main purpose of this particular LokManthan. So this divide was an artificial construct divide. Bharat ka urban area is different and rural area is different. That is why I have already said, as a metaphor, I have tried to put the Ramayana concept before you. Rama was the Chakravarti of the whole world, but still, when he went to the forest, उन्होंने पाव छुआ केवट राजा के, and he was ready to accept the fruits which were वो चक्कर दिए हुए शबरी जैसा एक वनवासी महिला दिए हुए वो क्यों किया था? That was a relation. And as far as if you are saying that aranyas, forests are backward, then how can you relate it with Aranya Sanskriti? What is the other name of Bharatiya Sanskriti? It is Aranya Sanskriti. Aranyakam is there. And all our ancient great Rajas in their young youth, they went for the further education or higher education to forests. Our all universities were inside the forest, Gurukulas. So that was our relationship.
मैंने यही कह रहा था कि जो है अपनी रिच ट्रेडिशन कल्चर जो है गांव से या अरण्य से शुरू हुआ, बट आज के दौर में जो जो अर्बन संस्कृति बढ़ रहा है इसमें ये डिवाइड बढ़ते जा रहा है.
No, divide is an artificial construct which has been made. So my point is our relationship must be strengthened. Those who are, yes, many of the people have to live in the cities. There is no doubt about that. There are so many things to be done from the cities, but they shall not cut away from this original culture. That is the point. So, in order to strengthen that relationship, I have mentioned in the beginning itself that Samvada Parambara is to be strengthened. That is why this colloquium of nation first thinkers, Rashtra Sarvopari Vicharak. Vicharak is representing, I would like to say, the professional intellectuals from the cities and the so-called backward community members who are real practitioners of this culture are to be brought in on a same platform. There this discussion, it's a beginning. I am not saying that everything has been done, but it's a beginning. That's why in Bhopal, when Agaria community, one of the primitive tribal community, they were represented there. Their Mukhya was on the stage, and David Frawley and Rajiv Malhotra were also on the very same stage. So this is an umbrella, LokManthan, providing for both groups. In general, I am saying that both groups. So this interaction will create wonders in the coming days.
Yeah, बिल्कुल सही है. ये जानपद संप्रदाय या लोक संप्रदाय को आगे लेके जाने में विद्यार्थी का और यूथ का बहुत बड़ी अहम रोल होता है, क्योंकि दे आर द फ्यूचर ऑफ अवर नेशन. सो इस लोक मंथन में वो लोग के शामिल करने में या वो लोग के बारे में कुछ विचार?
Definitely. We are concentrating upon the colleges and universities very much. Last all the editions, Bhopal edition or Ranchi or Guwahati, in which we have conducted so many programs in colleges and universities. This year also we have already started competitions, speeches, youth parliaments in colleges and universities, and we are proud to say that at least 35-40% of the delegates are from that age limit. That youngsters, students and youngsters are participating more, and when we have invited the registrations, while we have screened the registration, maximum mark to consider them as proper delegates, we have maximum marks were given for the youngsters and students and girls, I mean women. That was the first criteria. Through that also we have selected maximum number from students, and the exhibition, as far as this 4 days exhibition which is going to happen in that Shilparam, it is definitely and specifically for students only. So already schools, colleges have registered to participate and visit the exhibition and participate in so many activities there. It is not just going and seeing and coming back. There will be so many activities there. For example, there is Katha, storytelling pavilions will be there. Those students going there, so there will be some very good stories tellers. They will tell stories and allow students also to participate. There are games pavilion will be there. They can participate in Lok Krida. I mean, ancient our Bharatiya khel, and there will be competitions also. So it's a mix up of learning through action, activity. Such a plan has been made.
बहुत ही थैंक यू। इस बार
नमस्कार।
जो है भाग्यनगर में होने वाला इस लोक मंथन देश की दिशा जो है पूरी तरह आगे आगे अपने भारतीय संस्कृति कल्चर को जो है रिवाइव करने में बहुत मदद।
Let me add one more thing. Sorry, this murti which is behind me, you know better than me, being Telangana people. That is Rani Rudrama Devi का जो मूर्ति है, and Rudrama Devi was actually the epitome of valor, knowledge, and administrative marvel. You know, this has been designed by the people through the records which we have got already. Rudrama Devi's photos are available. It is not a new thing. I am not saying that, but I think this posture, which is on Simhasana, and also she was sitting in that Simhasana with a raised forefinger, that shows the administrative power of her, and also the swans in the side, that is showing her knowledge power, and also the simhas, those two simhas standing on the mastakas of the elephants, that shows her valor, and the churi and the sword in her hand, and also above that simhasana there is the power. It is being explained through that symbols. So such a figure, that murti, will be established there. It will be consecrated there in the Shilparamam and the Shilpa Vedika, and we have extended our request to the main guest to worship this rupa, and this will certainly establish the real culture and the tradition, the history. And when we go deep into Rudrama Devi's history, we will find out that she was not from a Savarna family or caste. She came from the downtrodden, if you can say it in that way. So Bharat's culture, women-centric culture, Matru-kendrit culture, we are going to give such a message also. From a humble way, we are going to try that also. Namaskar.
रानी रुद्रमा का जो यहाँ शुभ अपनी वैलोर देश जो है आगे आगे इस तरह रानी रुद्रमा से इंस्पायर होते हुए आगे चलेगा, बल्कि उम्मीद है इस लोक मंथन के बाद।